I don't think many things can describe what I just witnessed. I'm pretty sure this is just the end of it. 52 points. 52 points that we gave up. And, like, that, that is just. That's. Why? What are we doing? Why? 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 I don't. I don't get this. What are we doing? What are we doing? This was supposed to at least be somewhat competitive. The Lions were down after getting fucking demolished by the Packers. But then they come home and just kill us. Roll us into fucking nothing. Nothing, I tell you. Just absolutely nothing. Felt like I was just watching a zombie play football out there. Why? 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 There's so many things that just went completely wrong on this offense. We scored the same amount of points as the Saints, and yet they're gonna feel much better because they didn't expect to score that. I thought this shit would be fixed over the week. Like, yeah, the defense is bad, but it just felt like we were running similar plays. And after the first drive, it just didn't feel like we were ever that close. It didn't feel like we were ever going to make that comeback. And it especially got killed when the refs decided to give the fucking Lions free points. If we were a competent team, that would have mattered. But it didn't. Instead, they scored 21 unanswered. 17 unanswered. I can't read. Sorry. And that's just it. We can't do anything. I don't understand what the problem is. It's not. This franchise is stuck. It's stuck in a mud and it can't get itself out. And this is what it's resulted in. More failure, more nothing. Just more of everything that is wrong. It has been wrong with this team. It's just fallen all apart. And at this point, I can't say that the coach needs to get it off with his head. I can't say really that the players, some of these players need to be gone. Because it just feels like they're all stuck in something. I don't know what that is, but it just feels like they're stuck in something. And at this point, all that we can point the finger at with the years of failure, the turnover of head coaches, GMs, like obviously Poles is going to be the first one to go. I don't care what his extension is. He has to be the first one to go at this point. But that's not the real main problem. He has lots of faults, yes, but it's very hard to find a good GM these days. I don't think there's many, what people would consider good GMs. And there's just not enough GM candidates out there. So we're basically stuck with him. All the fingers are now going to be pointed at the ownership. And it's really the one thing that has been constant in all of this. And the constant hundreds of years, it's the ownership. They're too lackluster. They may be okay people. They may not be, Dan Snyder levels of terrible. But they don't do the things that we want them to. They don't do the things that progress this franchise into the next millennium. They just sit there and count their money. Once again, this franchise is being owned by accountants. Not ran by now. We are literally owned by accountants. And that's not how you football. That's not how you put out a product on the field to go get into the playoffs. Because while I didn't really think that we had to make the playoffs to, be the year or, understand, I just was thinking that this is the year to prove that this franchise still has something of worth. Still has something that can put it on its good side. And as of now, we are not doing that. This defense over the past 6 quarters have given up so many goddamn points. And it's baffling as to why they are. I get it. Divisional opponents. Both of the teams that we've played are, playoff teams when we can remember. But putting that kind of effort out there, that kind of effort is just not going to survive. And they're not being egged on by anybody to do anything. And it's been like this for years and years and years. We get talented players in here, but none of them really produce highly. And it's just another fault landed on ownership because they don't push for change. They just want to keep things the same because it still makes them money. And that's all they care about is money. That's why they're moving the stadium to Arlington. That's why they're trying to get as much tax dollars as possible so they can save every penny possible. And is why we've had so much cap space over the past couple of years because we just haven't been willing to spend big. Now we've kind of spent big. Kind of. I mean, we're at the cap. That's better, but he's still not producing results. So, what do we do? What are we supposed to do? Like, obviously, the coaching needs to be better. Obviously, the GM picks need to be better. Obviously, we need to make better movements in, certain positional games. Running backs, I'm looking at you. But there just has to be something else. And the only constant over these past, since the Super Bowl when I was born, especially since the NFC Championship game in 2010, the only consistent on this team is the owners. Okay? It doesn't really matter that our owner died last month, in the off season. She was not running it by that point. Her sons were. Now that he has full ownership to do whatever the hell he wants, it's not working. And this game proves it. The team is not motivated to do anything. The coaches aren't really motivated to do anything. Because you know what? They've got job security. It would cost too much to fire him. So you know what? They get to stay for at least the rest of the season. And probably more. Because it costs too damn much to fix it. And for some players, that's perfectly fine. And I totally get it. For some players, for some coaches, it's really no money. You know what? That's fine. Money is a big driving factor. It's why players get paid so much. It's because that's how you get them to play games. It's how you get them to be motivated. But at this rate, we're paying them and we're not getting that much motivation out of them. It's just another culture thing. So many words. So many words that just has to go into this. And none of them are... I don't care about anything that happens off the field. I don't care, about all the things that are, being said in press conferences. The only thing that matters, and the only thing that should matter for a sports franchise is how they perform on the field. It should not matter the economics. It should not matter how the team is playing, like how the team is being run financially. It should matter, are you winning games? No? Then change something. Is it that hard? I don't think it's that hard. The Chiefs went from, just being mediocre to being a Super Bowl contender because they decided to go out and, take a risk. Take a Patrick Mahomes and then spend all the money to get things around him so that he's able to be, successful. We did an imitation of that and it's not working. And at this rate, I'm done. I'm done with, hyping up any of these quarterbacks. I'm done with, thinking that any offense is going to work. We're going to once again have to go back to our roots of playing defense. And having the offense being run by a Rex Grossman. But this is not the start that you want. Because giving up 52 points is not good. You need to do a lot better than giving up 52 points to the Lions after they got crushed by the Packers. And the offense, maybe it can change over these next couple of weeks. But historically, we have been shit since the bye. Okay? We won, maybe 2 games, 2, 3, 4, 5, Not that many games over these past couple of years after the bye. The bye week is not far from now. They decided to give us another early bye because goddamn we need that. Apparently. We're going to have to, only rely on veteran quarterback because we cannot develop young talent, and it goes back to another culture thing. It's so baffling. How do you continue to be like this and not change one fucking bit? It doesn't... I may sound fucking crazy, and I may sound like I'm fucking stupid, which... Okay, fair. I don't know much about, football, economics or whatever, but... You make hundreds of millions of dollars a year. This is the same problem I have with the Cubs. You make hundreds of millions of dollars a year, and yet you run your franchise like you're breaking even, or losing money for that fact. But in the year 2025, any franchise in baseball, in football, any of those major league or National Football League teams do not lose money unless they are in a specifically bad situation, in which the Bears, in the Cubs, both of them are not in that situation. Both of them are in a major media market and has had past success, which is continuing to get new fans and getting people to come to the games and being able to, spend money so that the Bears make more money. Okay? We make that much money and we're not investing in it. Instead, we're hoarding it like we're fucking dragons and not investing into the team. What are we doing? Either we're not even making bad investments, we're just not making that investment. Okay? I don't know what interior guard is or like interior linemen. I don't even know if they're bad or not. I can't tell. They were good before and now they just look mid. I don't know. I'm just having a hard time figuring out why this team continues to just shit it when they need to actually perform every single year. And this isn't 2017 where we start out pretty bad and then end up winning 10 games in a row or something. This team is just bad. That's what they are. And this is, again, probably going to be another season where we finish 4th place, where we're out of playoff contention by week 15, and there's just nothing to play for in December or January. And the Bears seem content with that. They seem fine to finish fourth every year. There's no push. There's no change. There's nothing in the higher-ups. They're saying, we want to do something different to be better. Instead, they just stand around thinking, we make money. Who needs to put out a good product? The Bears are already making hundreds of millions a year. Simply because of their name. And that is fucking sad. If this team, like the Bills, had to build their own identity to make money because they live in Buffalo. That is hella far away. There is not much out there. I'm sorry, upstate New York. There is not much besides like a Niagara Falls and the football team. That's it. That's all they have there. Okay? So they had to actually, be good. And then they could make the hundreds of millions. Instead, we're in the biggest media market. We are the oldest franchise. Not actually the oldest. The Cardinals are oldest. The second oldest franchise in the league. And yet, they are doing nothing to even get close to how good they were in 2017. Not even that close to even getting a double doink. I don't know how we're still broken from something that happened 8 years ago. Like, what are we doing? What are we actually doing as a franchise to be sitting like that? But, it's fine. They make hundreds of millions, and that's perfectly fine with them. They can say fuck with a win is just an extra for them. Just like the Toronto Maple Leafs owner used to say, the playoffs are just extra ticket money. And you know what? We don't make the playoffs because it's harder to do that now, in the year 2025, compared to, the 70s or 60s in the NHL when every team made the playoffs, basically. We don't get that. You could make more money if you made it to the playoffs. That's the thing. You can make hundreds of millions more if you make the playoffs. Okay? The Chiefs owners are god-awful. And yet they're rolling in the bank because they're making the playoffs. They're making the Super Bowl every year. Again, it's another one of those franchises that kind of had to build their own, way to being a successful franchise and having their name out there. Because Kansas City is... It's basically the border between the Midwest and the South. At least that's what I think it is. So, what are we? Kansas City, Buffalo, Cincinnati, New Jersey? No one cares about New Jersey. Those three cities are not major markets normally. Okay? And pretty much anything else, nobody really cares about those. In football, those are the biggest markets. Why? Because they've consistently performed something. They have guys. Cincinnati has fallen off, yes. But, if they put it finally together, they can make the playoffs. Although Joe Burrow's injury, I don't. Detroit is a city that's fallen apart. Detroit is basically bankrupt. And yet, here they are. They have a team. They have a team that's doing well. Okay, it used to be a big thing, but now it's kind of not. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. We can just sit here and watch our team suffer. Get a couple of good wins every once in a while to, make us feel something. And then, it's back to the off season. I wish I had something positive, but I don't. I just don't. It's not fun here. It's not fun having to deal with this mid. I just want it to be over. I just want the sucking to be over, and I just want a good football team again. Because that gives us joy and that gives us something to do. Instead, we're just mired in misery, mired in the nothingness. But hey, whatevs. Anyway, I think that's it for now. I'm gonna go see if Dallas misses this field goal. Probably not. And I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, Michigan. Oh, whatever. See ya.